各位，清晨5点，新疆喀什的街头依旧灯火通明。一位巴西记者，也是全球地缘政治评论员艾斯科巴正在那里进行现场直播。他身后是2000年历史的喀什老城，街边仍有游客在品茶、拍照、闲聊。这一幕与西方媒体那个被频频描绘成紧张边境地区的新疆显然不太一样。他此行从乌鲁木齐出发，穿越塔克拉玛干沙漠，沿着古丝绸之路一路向南，拍摄着一部纪录片。他看到的不只是景观，而是经济的活力，新的高速公路，遍布的充电桩、风电与光伏基地，以及成群结队的自驾旅行的中国游客。这一地区的 GDP 增速在 7% 以上，超过全国平均水平。对他而言，这不是一个偏远的边境，而是中国西部崛起的缩影。我们距离纽约1万英里，但这里看上去比美国某些地方更现代。这一句话听上去非常幽默，但是在他眼里却是现实的对比。越来越多的中国中产开始意识到，后西方时代已经到来了。他们认为西方社会正陷入一个自我消耗式的衰退，而中国正在稳步构建属于自己的现代化体系。不同于硅谷的虚拟经济，也不同于华盛顿的政治焦虑，而是落在实地的能源、基础设施和产业。艾斯科巴甚至形容这种感受为一种后西方的自信。这种自信不再是口号，而是一种可见的现实。无论是在喀什、兰州还是成都，都能看到统一标准的城市服务和技术的普及。那种在中国大陆内部形成的自我循环，从以西方为参考到成为自身的参照。但更深层次的问题是，为何外界几乎看不到这一面呢？在他描述中，喀什街头几乎没有外国记者。过去1年里，3亿中国游客来到新疆，相当于欧盟的总人数。但西方主流报道仍停留在安全、监控、民族紧张的叙事框架里面。而当他尝试向西方媒体分享影像的时候，得到的反应往往是沉默。这就引出了一个尖锐的问题：在全球信息流被意识形态过滤的时代，谁有权利定义现实呢？中国现在正在用“一带一路”的逻辑重新定义连接，不仅是地理意义上的连接，更是叙事层面的连接。新疆不再是一个地缘政治的象征，而是中国版全球化的试验场。同时，他也留下了一句意味深长的话：一个后西方时代的中国，会如何与仍在沉迷旧叙事的世界对话呢？这才是21世纪最值得关注的问题。那让我们看一下视频。
My priority was to travel in Xinjiang in Western China to see the development of the far west of China, which is something it's practically inexplicable to the West. In what I've seen here, of course, I ditched following the West and even the war in Ukraine for 2 weeks. And when I came back to it yesterday and I saw what Hegseth has been saying and that famous meeting of Trump with the generals and all that, from the Chinese point of view, Judge, and from this region that is growing at 7% GDP a year, way above Chinese development. And you see moderately prosperous society on the move, doing domestic tourism. Right behind me is the old city of Kashgar, 2,000 years old. It's over midnight and it's bustling with domestic tourists from all over China. They come here in their state-of-the-art SUVs. They have charging stations all over the place. Their latest smartphones, disposable income, and they look at the West now with what is this? What are they doing? They are puzzled by this progressive, suicidal move of Western civilization. And more moderately prosperous Chinese that we're seeing here from all regions of China, they are already whispering to each other, look, this is really the past. We are already in the post-Western world, and we are leading. They are self-confident enough to see that, to admit that to one another. And they look at us, there are very, very few foreigners here. In 2 weeks, we met like less than 10.
Wow.
2 weeks.
You mentioned Secretary Hegseth. Did the Russians and the Chinese military and diplomatic and political leadership take note of the absurd speeches that Secretary Hegseth and President Trump gave? And they gave it where they assembled every single American general and admiral on the planet in one room?
They did, Judge. From what I've seen since yesterday, I took a look at our friends from Guangzhou in Shanghai, and they are puzzled. And they are, of course, they are not openly mocking the absurdity of it all, the Kafkaesque absurdity of it all, but they are puzzled. And they immediately identify as a collapse of intellectual capabilities and strategic thinking of the so-called elites of the U.S. and NATO as even more accelerated than a few days ago. It's fascinating to see on the ground here, all across Xinjiang, how the rest of China is proud of what has been achieved by Xinjiang in these past few years. For instance, very important number, less than one Chinese has ever been to Xinjiang. They're starting to come now. For instance, last year we had, according to an official number that I tried to confirm this today, and they told me, yes, this is the official number. 300 million Chinese tourists came to Xinjiang in 2024.
Wow.
This means like practically the population of the European Union in 1 year, they're coming here to see Xinjiang for the first time. And they see, wow, this is part of China. This is developing fast. And you go to a city like Urumqi, you have the same services as Shanghai, Beijing, or Guangzhou.
Wow.
It's extraordinary. So in terms of this geoeconomic development and the interaction with the neighbors, for instance, we were in parts of the New Silk Roads, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, the Belt and Road, you name it. You see trade back and forth in front of you. When you drive from Urumqi, you see a sea of solar panels, solar stations, wind turbine farms, electrification all over. And when you compare to even certain parts of the United States, wow, this is eons ahead. It's so impressive that it takes your breath away, in fact. And then when you start to compare politically with what's on CGTN or in Xinhua or in Guangzhou, which is more independent, they are perplexed at the decadence of the US and Europe at the same time. Wow, it's over 5,000 kilometers, and we are at over 5,000 kilometers from Shanghai.
Wow.
We are in Kashgar, which is the last major tier 4 city, meaning 4 million people in Xinjiang before you get to the China-Pakistan border, which is roughly 10 hours away from here. We were very close to the border yesterday. We were in Pamir lands yesterday, which is very close to the China-Pakistan border. And
wow.
The context for you, Judge, in 1 minute, and to our audience, because this is probably the first time you're going to see Kashgar live on your show. We have been shooting a documentary across Xinjiang. We started in Urumqi, the capital of Xinjiang. We did the major oasis in the Northern Silk Road. We crossed the Taklamakan Desert from the north to the south. We continued on the Southern Silk Road. We are in Kashgar, and from Kashgar, we went very, very close to the China-Pakistan border. This will be part of an independent documentary. It's a Chinese production. Our support team, Chinese, is absolutely extraordinary. And my cameraman, Stan, he's Russian. He lives in Shanghai, and he organized this setup especially for your show today.
Well, you are 10,000 miles from New York City. And
yes.
This reception we have of you, both the audio and the visual image, is spectacular. Just spectacular, Pepe.
Thank you. Thank
you very much.
Thanks to Stan.
I know you're a night owl, but thank you very much for staying up so late for us.
We just came from a Uyghur wedding, Judge. Literally. Yes. We were at a wedding.
Wow.